guys, it's Isabel. So today's video is going to be a Q&A and it's going to be New Year's and goal related. Now I did make a video on how I set my goals and how I wrote out my goals and the intentions I want for 2019, and they're all right here. So if you guys want to see how I wrote out my goals, link will be down below, just in case you guys were wondering, because there were a few questions on what my goals are. So I'm going to read you guys' questions, which if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. That is where I posted on my story that I was going to be doing a Q&A. Let's start at the beginning. I haven't really read through these questions, so I don't know what to expect, but let's see. Let's see if we can inspire each other for the new year. First question is in Spanish, and she asked for rituales para recibir el año nuevo. So that is basically rituals to start your new year, and I think it's a really interesting topic on doing a ritual for the new year instead of going out to a party and drinking and then waking up with an awful hangover on the first. So I'm going to actually make a whole video on a ritual that you can do for the new year, and I know it might sound kind of like magic-y and like witchy and stuff, but it's literally just to get your mindset right to start the new year. So that is a video that is coming very soon for those of you who probably don't have plans for the new year, and it's totally cool to chill at home and just make sure you're super aligned and super in the right vibe to ring in the new year and start a new beginning. Seashells asked, how can I overcome negative body image? Even though this is not New Year's Eve related, if this is maybe a resolution for you to overcome negative body image, first, think about how you are talking to yourself. What are the words that you say to yourself when you look in the mirror, or when you're buying new clothes? Are you saying, oh, I'm so fat, nothing looks right on me? Or are you saying I'm too skinny, or my butt's not big enough, or my waist isn't small enough? What are the things that you are constantly telling yourself every time you look at yourself in the mirror? And every time you catch yourself saying something negative towards yourself, even if it's in your head and no one can hear it, switch it with, I'm grateful I have my body. I get to have this type of body. I get to move my arms. I get to be able to walk. I get to be able to do so many things thanks to my body. Understand that body image comes from ourselves. What we accept other people telling us, what we accept from other people, other people's standards for what beauty is, we're accepting what society is telling us. We're accepting what our friends, what our family, what our significant other is telling us. And that is messing with our mind. So if you want to overcome a negative body image, you need to accept that people are always going to have opinions, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what may be beautiful to one person can be completely ugly and abhorrent to somebody else, and that's perfectly okay. What is most important is your mindset. So as long as you work on your mindset and you work on accepting yourself, other people's opinions won't affect you as much, and you can form your own opinion. So start by appreciating your body. Appreciate the things your body can do rather than what it looks like, because that is the true worth of your body, not what it looks like, but what it can do for you and how it's helping you and protecting you. So love it and nurture it so that it can love you and nurture you back. Valley Machuk asked, how can we make sure that we are in the right mindset when setting our goals? So it's very important to meditate on what you want. And like in my last video, I went to a psychic, and I know that wasn't a super popular choice for a lot of you, but I did feel lost and I needed some guidance. Maybe the universe would speak to me through a psychic, and you know, I did get some answers, and I also got some things that I was like, that's not exactly true, but it did help me kind of hone in on what I felt was bothering me. And the fact that she brought up certain things to me that elicited an emotion from me and it resonated with me just went to show that that was an area in my life that I was neglecting and I was kind of shutting off, and I needed to accept and also go into it instead of hiding from it. And I talk about it so much that you shouldn't hide from your issues. You shouldn't hide from what's hurting you or bothering you. So I had to practice what I preach and go into something that I was afraid of going into, and it really helped in the long run. Even if I don't exactly believe everything the psychic told me, I actually was able to be more intuitive and go back into myself to realize what I needed to do to realign myself and focus myself into my goals, into my dreams, into my vision. I suggest that if you have something that you are putting off, a dark shrouded elephant in the room, like I talked about in my podcast, if you have a dark shrouded elephant in the room that you are too afraid to go into, that is exactly what you need to go into. That is exactly what you need to focus on getting rid of these mentalities and these things that are holding you back. back, or going into something you're afraid of so that you'll get the courage to continue to dig up things in your life that are not serving you and letting go of them, be able to face your fears so they no longer affect you. That is a great way to get into the right mindset. Just attacking the things that have been holding you down, that you've been resisting, and going into it and allowing it to consume you, allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to go into it so that you can get rid of that and you can actually focus on what actually matters. So deal with the tough stuff first, and then you can start going in and rebuilding and focusing on what you want to bring into your life. But most importantly, be grateful for all the bad things. Be grateful for every single thing you have in your life, because then the universe will continue giving you things to be grateful for. Yari in Charge asks how to formulate a goal correctly. So formulating a goal is just by getting into that space of what you want to come into 2019. What are the energies? What are the intentions that you want to come into 2019? And don't be afraid to dream big, to make them really big, to make them something that you never thought possible. Don't be afraid to go into that. And the most important thing about a goal is by setting a huge goal and then creating smaller things, maybe a timeline. For the first 3 months, I want to be able to do this, and the next 3 months do this. So kind of break down your goals into smaller, more feasible goals that you can reach in the short term, which is why short-term goals are so very important. So you can create short-term goals by breaking down your big long-term goal, because sometimes we create such big goals, we're not able to check back on them every day or every week to see how we're going. So in order to make those big goals easier and to formulate a goal that you can actually achieve is by breaking it down into smaller pieces. Stereo Banana asks how to manifest moving to a new country if you're not exactly sure where to go. Now this is something that I am dealing with too at the moment, so I'm glad you asked this question, because I want to move to a new city and I don't know exactly where. I have a few ideas and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to tell you right off the bat what cities I want to move to, but I think it's all about going with your intuition and your gut. But I suggest traveling to these countries that you might have an idea that you want to live there, traveling, going to submerge yourself in the culture and just exploring different options, maybe visiting a friend that lives in a country that you haven't visited, or just going and connecting with people in different countries. I think that could give you a good indicator of where your soul is taking you, or maybe there's an opportunity in a city that you never even thought about. Or maybe if you want to start small, move to a different city within your country and then start building your way to another country, which in the end could be what you needed. Next question, what motivational quote that you will keep for 2019? So my quote for 2019, my quote for life will always be, it's all rigged, everything's in your favor. That is just my life mantra. But for me, I wrote it at the top of my goal sheet, is fortune favors the bold. That is what I'm going for. I am focusing on being more bold in 2019 and saying no to things that don't serve me, or I don't feel like going into, saying no to people. And I've been such a people pleaser this year, and it's really destroyed me in many ways. It's kind of destroyed my essence. It's sad to say, but being introspective here, that's definitely something I'm going into the new year with, is being more bold, being more in tune with me and my needs, being there for myself instead of waiting for other people to be there for me. How to stop overthinking and stressing about every little thing. I think a lot of us deal with this, and it's not only you. It's very important to, in the moment when you feel like you're just overthinking and there's so many thoughts in your brain and you can't seem to focus on one single thing, it's important to sit and quiet yourself and meditate, or just be present, be in the moment, because a lot of times these thoughts are either stemming from the past or from the future, from us thinking too much about the past, being stuck in the past and not being able to overcome something from the past, and also worrying about things that haven't even happened, things that you don't even know how they're gonna go. We don't even know how the future is gonna be. So it's important to set your intentions right now in the moment. In the moment you start getting those negative thoughts, or the thoughts that are hurting you, you need to sit and maybe write them out, right, while you're feeling this way. Just something to get you in that present moment so that you get out of your headspace and more onto something physical. It's very important that when your mind is acting up and doing a bunch of bad things, that you actually counteract it and become present and physical in the moment. So whether that is journaling or reading or exercising or just dancing around, getting out of your mind, manifesting your feelings into the physical sense so that you can let them out and not let them affect you so much, I think that is really the key to stop overthinking. And The Power of Now is a book by Eckhart Tolle that really helped me understand living in the present moment, because I always thought, oh, living in the present moment is just that you have to feel bliss and like really into the moment. And that's not true. It's just really about sitting with your feelings and what you're feeling in that moment and evaluating whether that is in the past or in the future. Maria Esther Jimenez, how people can succeed. What is an advice that you can give to someone about life? I think success is something very different for each and every one of us, and you have to get really clear on what your definition of success is. What do you have to accomplish or do or feel, or what does your mindset have to feel like in order to be successful? What does that look like? And it's very important to get clear on who you wish to be, who you are working towards becoming, because then you can understand what success will bring to you and what success will mean to you. And she asked, what is an advice you can give to someone about life? Always stay true to yourself. Always stay true to what you believe is right in the moment. And don't beat yourself up if you did something that you thought was right and it didn't turn out the way you anticipated it. I think life is all about learning, especially learning from our failures and our mistakes. And as long as you learn from a failure and a mistake, it becomes a lesson and not so much a failure or mistake. It is something working in your favor rather than working against you and making you feel bad about yourself. How do you stay motivated during the new year? I think it's very important to be realistic about your goals or your resolutions or your intentions, and be realistic about what you can accomplish and how you can show up every single day for your goals and your dreams. So understand that motivation will dwindle. That's very key, is understanding you won't always be motivated. You won't always have a ton of inspiration, but the moments that you are super motivated and super inspired, you need to work 10 times more than you would normally so that you can take advantage of those bouts of motivation and inspiration. But also make sure that your motivation is coming from a place within. Make sure it's intrinsic. I mean, you can find your motivation in money or in just recognition from other people, but also make sure that your goals are centered in something you want to accomplish for yourself, for your betterment, for your self-acceptance, and for the opinion you hold for yourself. But if you feel that you're working towards something and you're not motivated, that's when discipline has to come in. You have to make sure that you are your own boss, your own leader, your own coach in those moments where somebody is not there to push you. Or also, you can find a friend. If your goal is to go to the gym every day, make sure that you have something to hold you accountable and you reward yourself for doing something good so that you'll keep feeling incentives to keep working forward. But make sure that you are putting in line the necessary steps and precautions so that you'll be ready the moment that motivation dwindles and you can continue to work on the things that you want to work on. But also accepting that you won't always be motivated is absolutely key, so you don't beat yourself up. And if you fall off track, if you eat something bad or you do something, don't beat yourself up about it. If you fall off the track, it's okay. Just keep getting on no matter what. If you fall down, keep getting up. Keep getting up. The moments that you fall down become fewer and further in between. What are your top 5 goals for 2019? So I did make a video on this, on my goals, but I have them right here, so I'll just read you my top 5. My main goal is to create powerful and meaningful content that inspires others and grows my community. And I feel like every year I progressively get better at this, but I want 2019 to just be the year where I churn out and I'm super productive and I'm able to stay on a schedule, because that is something that I struggled with so much this year. And it's because I was just so out of focus. A lot of stuff was going on and I couldn't put my head back in there, and I don't want to make a video if I'm not feeling good. I don't want to put those vibes out there. If I'm feeling bad, odds are you guys are going to feel it across the screen. So I want to make sure that the content I put out is inspiring, it's good, and I want to churn it out as much as I can and be super productive. Odds are I probably won't ever feel like I am at that top of that mountain yet, but it's okay as long as I'm working towards it and as long as you guys are appreciating the content. That's the best way to measure my success in that goal. I also want to build my Taking Back Your Power empire and my brand. That is my new brand that I started this year, and I kind of started it without wanting to, but it was the name of my podcast first, and I was like, wait, this is totally the vibe of my life. I am constantly in the struggle of taking back my power from certain situations, and I know a lot of people feel that way, and that turned into my brand, and then I create logo, and then I'm creating a book around it, and it's so exciting to see, and I want to build it into an empire to where it is my brand, it is my thing. I want to employ other people and create a team and just create a machine that is constantly churning out content for people to be inspired, to be empowered, to feel like they are aligned with their purpose. If by aligning with my purpose, I help other people align with their purpose and become their best selves, that is honestly my biggest life goal. And I know I will be able to build that this coming year. And another main goal I have is to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. Now, I'm just not a morning person by nature, and the mornings that I do wake up super early, I am most productive, I am most positive, so I know that it has a positive effect on me as a person. And also, I want to move to a new city. That is something that is going to happen this year. I am saying it right now. I am putting the intention out there. I'm being more vocal about it, so I'll be more accountable, and I will actually push myself to make it happen instead of saying, oh, it's kind of like a faraway wish, and saying like, no, it's gonna happen. It's scary and it's going to cost a lot and it's going to be a huge sacrifice, but I want to do it and push myself so that I will show myself that I can actually accomplish the things that I set my mind to. And then of course, getting paid to travel. I love being able to buy a ticket to somewhere, but I want to push the envelope a little bit further, and it's something that I enjoy so much, and I truly believe that you should always find a way to make your passion your paycheck. I think that's so empowering and it allows you so much freedom. So if a brand wants to pay me for a trip or something, that is something that I welcome and I think is wonderful. And I hope that if you have those financial goals, and I have other financial goals that I'm just not going to get into because they're very personal and I don't want to jinx anything, but if you have those type of financial goals, don't be afraid to talk about them. That is why we settle into limiting beliefs about money, because we feel it's something dirty and bad to talk about, saying I want to get paid to do something, I want to get paid to do something I love. And it's not. It's good, it's fun, and it challenges you to break down barriers and break down old notions and limiting beliefs and create a new mindset and bring you lots of things that you never even imagined. Okay, I think that's all 5, but I have 7 total. What's your thought on psychic reading? I mean, I've talked to you guys a lot, and I think a lot of you were confused by my last video and you're like, but I thought that you said you didn't believe. And I'm a person that's very open to things, and for many years in my life I was afraid of psychic readings and afraid of that because I was taught from very young that psychic readings were against God. I was raised Catholic and do still identify with my Catholic faith. So for me to go into psychic reading, it did force me to challenge my beliefs, and I think that it's important, if you're curious about something, to try it and not let fear so much push you away from things or superstitions or things that you grew up, or limiting beliefs with anything in life. And if it's something you're not into, I completely understand. I won't say that I'm into tarot. I've never done tarot. I've watched tarot videos on YouTube, but I've never been like, oh, I'm gonna go do a tarot reading. I believe I am the master of my life and my fate and my future, and I believe that whatever I think about, I bring about. And doing this psychic reading made me really go back into who I am and what I'm doing and what my purpose is, and to realize that maybe psychic readings aren't for me. Maybe it's something that it helped me in that moment. It was the guidance that I needed in that moment, but going further, I am going to trust myself more and trust who I am more and trust my intuition more, which is something I talked about in that video, that I want to keep developing my intuition so that I will become my best self and not have somebody else have to tell me these things. I'm human just like you guys. I have doubts, I have fears, I have things that I have to deal with and things within myself that I have to deal with. And if it took the psychic reading for me to be able to become self-aware and aware of these things that I am holding inside and accepting things that have been hurting me instead of hiding them, then that's fine. Nobody can tell your future. I believe that it's in God and the universe's hands, but we do have the power to create our reality, to create the moment that we're in now. And it's just important to be open to things, guys. It's important to have your set values, but also be open to different things that challenge those beliefs and values, so that we'll actually not have doubts within ourselves anymore. And now that I did the psychic reading, am I open to doing it again? I'm not exactly sure at this moment. I think not. I think I already got the answers that I needed right now in this moment, and I'll continue carrying on. A psychic reading is not the end all and be all of your future. How to leave behind your weaknesses and find your true self in the coming year. So it's very important to identify your weaknesses, identify what might be holding you back or what self-sabotaging things are happening to you, and work towards doing the opposite of them. So if you feel like you are a person who is rooted in fear, take more risks. Do things that will challenge that fear and show you, hey, it's not all that bad. It's just your anxiety talking. And really digging deep and becoming introspective about those weaknesses and how they're hurting you and holding you back. But we all have weaknesses, so there are certain weaknesses that we should accept. But what's really important is to always capitalize on your strengths. Always capitalize on what you're good at so that those weaknesses won't affect you so much. How to remain focused on myself and be happy, and how to stop thinking about people who have hurt me. It's really important to align with your dreams and your goals. Every time you want to focus on yourself, focus on bettering yourself. Focus on doing stuff for your betterment, not to make other people happy, not for people's opinions, not to make people accept you, but stuff that will make you as a person happy and fulfilled and content. It's also very important that you be real with yourself and honest with yourself about who you are. Self-awareness is the key to capitalizing on your strengths, to doing your best work, to finding your passion. So be super, super, super honest with you about your strengths and your weaknesses and work on that. And also understand that we have to let go and forgive people who have hurt us. Even though we weren't issued an apology, even though they don't feel sorry about what they did to us, sometimes the best way to get over these things is not by waiting for them to apologize, because a lot of people don't like to apologize and they don't take responsibilities for their actions, sadly. So you need to take responsibility for yourself, for your own life, for your feelings, and accept an apology that you never got and forgive those people. Because if you keep holding on this harboring and resentment, it's like drinking a poison and expecting that person to die. If you're drinking the poison yourself, that other person's not gonna die, you will die. So instead of drinking that poison of resentment and hate or anger or just anything negative you have towards a person that hurt you, you are only hurting yourself. So send them love. I hope that you live a good life, but karma's gonna come get you. Seriously though, don't worry about those people if they've hurt you. Karma is gonna get them in due time. So just do your best for you. Focus on doing your best every single day, your goals and your dreams and how you can accomplish them, and do things that you love doing. Life is a lot more simple than we think, and by staying in the moment, by being present, by enjoying what we have right now in this moment, that is how we will find our true joy within. Most important thing you learned this year, holding stuff in and not allowing yourself to feel and to put up a facade for other people, please other people, and allowing other people's needs to come before your own is a sure way to destruction of the self. And I'm glad I can be open and vulnerable with you guys without too much judgment. I mean, I know it's the internet, people are always gonna have something to say, but accepting that I am human and I can't please everyone and I shouldn't try to, which is something I've done this year, is I felt guilty about my own goals and my dreams, and I don't wanna feel guilty about my goals and my dreams. I don't wanna feel guilty for doing what's right for me. Trying to not hurt somebody else has hurt me so much more. So that's probably the biggest thing I've learned this year, is that putting other people's needs in front of my own has hurt me, because I can't pour from an empty cup. What are your predictions for this year? I predict that 2019 is going to be the best year ever, and I have a feeling that just the collective consciousness of our world is going to be so much better. And I feel like 2018 was a year of cleaning, seeing the bad, ugly things in our world and bringing them to light, self-reflection, and also in my own self is bringing those ugly things out about myself that were holding me back and diminishing them. And I feel like 2019 is the year that I will finally become free, is the year that we will all finally become free of our demons, of the things that are hurting us. We're finally becoming more aware of this infinite power, the law of attraction, and we will be able to create so much with it. This is a great question. What do you do when your dreams and goals don't go as planned? I try to see what I did wrong, where I went wrong, and what I can do better. Every time I fail at something or I make a mistake, I always try to learn from it instead of beating myself up, and I accept that certain things don't work out because there's something better for me out there. Maybe there's another goal I need to focus on, or another area of my life I need to focus on. Maybe this path that I was going on just doesn't serve me anymore, and it's totally fine. A lot of times we outgrow our dreams, we outgrow our goals, and we have to tackle bigger beasts in our life in order to get to the next stage in your life. And always remember that when life gets really, really hard all of a sudden, it's because you've leveled up. It's because this easy life no longer serves you. The universe is just like, you know what? You need to get up. We're going on to the next chapter. We're going on to the next thing. This kiddie pool you are in right now is not good enough. You're on to the big leagues now. We're gonna give you a ton of difficulty right now so you can level up and you can be your best self. And that's what I always take from difficulty in life, is that it's just another reason to level up. It's another opportunity to level up. So if things didn't work out the way you expected them, it's because there's something else you need to focus on and something else that will bring you fulfillment, and this is not serving you anymore. Okay guys, so my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna take that as a sign from the universe that this video is over. And I know a lot of you guys complain that my videos are super long. So there's a ton of great questions and a lot of great requests for videos, so I will keep these in mind. There's a ton of new content coming in January. I'm so excited! This is going to be the best year ever. I hope you guys are just as excited as me. I love you all so very much, and always remember, no matter what you are going through, no matter who you are in this life, no matter how your 2018 went, 2019 is a brand new beginning. We have a brand new start. We have a brand new energy coming into us, and we should get really excited, bring our vibes up to the ceiling, and we will create and manifest the life of our dreams. It is possible, it is real. Don't let the past or whatever's been hurting you or holding you down, don't let it continue on into the new year. We are starting fresh, and we are finally gonna make our dreams come true. So let's stay inspired and keep it up. I love you guys so very much, and always remember, no matter who you are in this life, no matter what you've been going through, no matter how your year went, your true beauty, your true worth, and your true power always come from within. Send everyone you know great vibes today and every single day, and you'll see they'll come back to you. I'm sending you my best vibes. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos from me. Merry Christmas and have a happy new year. Bye-bye.